What's up guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the Logitech G Pro Superlight. So this mouse came out around a year ago and I am a little bit late to the party, but I have been using this mouse the entire time and I want to give you guys my thoughts on it. So the G Pro Superlight is an upgrade to the original G Pro and there's a lot of things that have been changed in the mouse, mainly being the weight. As you can obviously tell in the name Superlight. So the original G Pro was around 80 grams, whereas the Superlight comes in at 63 grams, which on paper doesn't sound like much, but I've used both mice in the past and I can tell you right now that you definitely will notice a difference going from an 80 gram mouse to a 63 gram mouse. As for the actual differences of the Superlight compared to the original G Pro, first off, we have only side buttons on the left side of the mouse on the Superlight, and you're not able to change that at all. Whereas with the original G Pro, it was ambidextrous and you could change the location of the side buttons. Another difference is actually the feet. So a lot of people were complaining about scratchy feet on the original G Pro. On the Superlight, you have 100% PTFE feet. And coming out of the box when I first got it, it was actually a little bit scratchy. But after around a week of using it, it actually smoothened out and there was no more scratchiness. So the stock feet on the Superlight is definitely a big improvement over the original. Another thing I want to mention is that inside of the box, it actually comes with a replacement puck, which actually has the PTFT material on it. So if you actually want a bigger glide surface on the bottom of your mouse, you can swap out the original puck for this mouse feet puck. I use the original one. I don't really bother using the one with the PTFE on it. I don't really notice a difference in terms of glide, so I just keep the original one in there. But it's nice that Logitech allows you to choose between these two. Also, inside of the puck compartment, you have this little spot for you to put the USB wireless transceiver so that if you're ever traveling with like your laptop, let's say, you can put your little wireless receiver in here and it makes it very hard to lose. Another difference is the Logitech logo on the back of the mouse is no longer RGB, and I imagine that's just to save battery life as well as make the mouse lighter. Speaking of battery life, Logitech rates the battery life in constant motion at 70 hours. I've had it for over a year now, and I can say that the battery life is absolutely amazing. This is probably one of the better battery lives I've ever seen on a wireless mouse. I can go for at least 2-3 weeks without ever plugging this mouse in. I do turn it off though when I'm not using it at night. So whenever I'm done using the mouse, I do turn it off with the switch at the bottom. But again, the battery life is extremely solid and this mouse will easily last you 2-3 weeks with constant use, a couple hours a day. Okay, I also want to talk about the clicking because on the original G Pro, there were double clicking issues and quality control issues that led to a lot of the units double clicking. I'm happy to report that on the Superlight, that issue has been solved and Logitech made an announcement themselves saying that on the Superlight, you don't have to worry about those quality control issues anymore that cause double clicking. They have seemingly fixed the problem, so you don't have to worry about that if you're picking up a Superlight. Speaking of clicks, this is probably a good time to do a sound test. So these are what all of the buttons sound like on the G Pro Superlight. Moving on to the physical specifications, we have the height coming in at 125 millimeters, the width at 63.5 millimeters, the depth, aka the height, at 40 millimeters, and the weight at, again, 63 grams, around there, give or take. Okay, so let's talk about one of the most important features of any mouse, which is the shape. Like I said earlier, this mouse is extremely popular, especially among a lot of pro players. And I think one of the big reasons for that is because of how safe the shape is. Now, there's nothing really unique or extraordinary about the shape of the Superlight. And I think the reason Logitech kept this shape is just because it's so safe. And what I mean by that is it fits almost every size of hand and every type of grip style. So whether you're claw gripping, finger tipping, palm gripping, it doesn't really matter. This mouse will really do it all. But I think one of the disadvantages of that is it never really feels perfect. For me, I use a claw grip and I have around medium-sized hands, like 19 centimeters long, and I claw grip and I find it average. So it's okay, it's very comfortable, but I wouldn't say it fits my hand like a glove, and I wouldn't say that it was made specifically for my hand or my grip style. When it comes to shape, I think the Superlight is definitely a safe option, and it definitely fits a lot of different styles and a lot of different hands, which is why I think it's so popular. Okay, let's talk about maybe one of the issues on the Superlight, which is the port that I've seen a lot of people complaining about. So the port on the Superlight is micro USB. So personally, I don't really think this is that big of an issue because at the end of the day, micro USB isn't really going to affect your performance. It is a wireless mouse, so that doesn't even really matter. 90% of the time, like I said, this mouse will last you 2-3 weeks without you having to charge it. So 90% of the time you're using the mouse, you're not even using it with the cable. It doesn't really matter, in my opinion, that it's micro USB. I guess it's nice to have USB-C. USB-C also provides faster charging speeds, but honestly, I just leave this to charge overnight, and the charging speeds don't really matter too much to me. And like I said, after it's charged up on a full charge, the mouse will last you 2-3 weeks. So it really doesn't even matter at the end of the day. But if that's something you're worried about, then there you go. It's micro USB. So if you're worried about that, then you can look at another mouse with USB-C. All right, so let's talk about the software for this mouse. So the G Pro Superlight uses Logitech G Hub, and it basically just lets you do everything that you would want. So you can change your DPI, you can change your polling rate, you can set macros, you can also just update the software through Logitech G Hub. But the most important thing is for any gaming mouse, I always look for onboard memory. So I feel like onboard memory is definitely one of the most important things you want to have, just because if you're ever taking it to a LAN event, let's say, or you're just going to a friend's house to play on their setup, you always want to make sure that you're able to store your DPI, macros, whatever on your mouse itself without needing to download the software, which Logitech G Hub allows you to do. So in terms of software, I think the G Pro Superlight has perfectly adequate software. You can do everything that you need to, but you can also have onboard memory and just never open the software if you don't want to as well. So the software is perfectly fine. Okay, going over pricing, it is priced at $200 Canadian, which I think converts roughly to 150 US dollars. And it comes in 3 different colors: black, white, and magenta. Honestly, let's be honest here. $200 Canadian or $150 USD for a mouse is a little bit expensive. It's definitely on the pricier side, but Logitech is able to get away with charging it because they just know that people will buy it regardless. So I guess it's really up to you whether or not you think that price is justifiable, but I do think there are very similar wireless mice to the G Pro Superlight that are, even half the price. So it's really up to you whether or not you think that price is reasonable. So that pretty much sums up my thoughts on the G Pro Superlight. I think if it's within your budget, I would highly recommend this mouse to anybody. It has a solid build quality and very solid features as well straight out of the box, with a very safe shape that fits almost any hand size and grip style. So that's pretty much it, guys. If you guys want to pick up this mouse, I will leave links to it in the description with my Amazon affiliate links, which will help support out the channel if you guys decide to use that link to purchase the mouse. But that's pretty much it. If you watched it this far, then you probably liked the video, so make sure you leave a thumbs up on this video as well as a comment down below if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.